Your name is Dale. I'm here to do the review of Deadpool 2, also Solo, a Star Wars story, and also the FX cable TV series, The Americans. These reviews and recommendations are done on behalf of Audio Liquor Mag, Audio Liquor Magazine, however you want to say it. You're going to have to bear with me on this review. My sinuses are kind of acting up, so it might be a little off today. But I'm going to start off doing Deadpool 2. Now, as you can see, I have the Deadpool t-shirt on, so I am a fan. Also brought props. I usually don't have props when I do my reviews, but I got a prop today. A few props. I have my Deadpool comic from 1994. I still have it. Still in good condition, as you can see. It's issue 1. And I believe this is issue 2. This will kind of give you a hint of what you might see in the movie, but I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway, now for those who are not familiar with Deadpool, don't know anything about the character, didn't see the first Deadpool movie, haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet. Deadpool is the merc with the mouth. He's a mercenary who likes to crack jokes, and he's very funny. He has the mutant ability to regenerate his cells, so to speak. He can super healing powers, as you could say, sort of like Wolverine. He's also highly trained in martial arts, swordplay, gunplay, the whole nine. So Deadpool 2, this movie is about him getting together this kind of rogue team of fellow mutants, and that team would happen to be the X-Force. I have another problem. I have my X-Force comic from the 90s. Not sure what year in the 90s, but this is from the 90s. As you can see, you got Cable, who's played by Josh Brolin in the Deadpool 2 movie, and they also have Domino, who's also a character in Deadpool 2, the movie, played by Zazie Beetz. And you also have Shatterstar. I forgot who played him in the movie. But anyway, so that's the team he gets together. And the funny thing is, he gets them together to try to stop Cable, who I just showed you on that comic, who's played by Josh Brolin. And Cable is a time-traveling cyborg mutant. He goes back to the present day where Deadpool is at to try to take out this young mutant, this boy who's just a kid who has these extraordinary abilities, who in the future, where Cable resides, terrorize the nation and terrorize Cable's life. So Cable goes back in time to try to kill him, and Deadpool puts this team together, X-Force, to protect this kid. So that's basically what the movie is about. The standout performance in this movie is Zazie Beetz, who played Domino, as I said before. She did a great job. And her mutant ability, if you're not familiar with her, she's Lucky. Yes, that's her mutant ability, that's her superpower. And I love how they use her superpower. They use it in very clever ways. It's kind of witty how they use it. They use it in very, very rather unique ways that enhance the movie. And this movie is a comedy action. It has a lot of humor, a lot of dark humor. It's rated R, so it's profanity in it. It got dirty jokes, the whole nine. And I love this joke that they have in the movie about this character named Black Tom. It's like a racist joke. It makes me laugh. I was dying laughing in the theater off this joke that they say a few times, and every time they said it, I just died laughing. I don't know. I find racist jokes funny. I'm odd like that. But anyway, in Deadpool, he breaks the third wall a lot. And if you're not familiar with that term or don't understand that term, it's like when he's talking to the audience, as if he's in the audience looking at the movie with you. He's making comments that you probably will make while you're watching the movie. And I was kind of worried he was going to do that too much this time around and kind of take me out the movie. But it was just enough. It wasn't bad. How it compares to the first Deadpool movie. The first Deadpool movie is a classic. It's kind of hard to catch lightning in a bottle, so to speak, with Deadpool 2. when the first Deadpool came out, you had nothing like that before. I mean, sure, you had rated R movies based on comic books like Kick-Ass and Blade, but you never had a rated R superhero comic book movie that was a comedy, basically, with action. It was unique. He was breaking the third wall. He was talking to the audience, and you're not going to be able to duplicate that feeling and that vibe that you got from the first one. But the second Deadpool is good nonetheless. It's definitely worth going to see at the theater. I give it a B+. So check that out. Oh, and for those who are not familiar with the actress Zazie Beetz, who played Domino in the Deadpool 2 movie, she plays on this FX cable TV series called Atlanta. If you're not watching Atlanta, I highly recommend you watch it. What are you doing? It's like the Boondocks meets Twin Peaks. So you have to watch that. Very funny, but at the same time unique. Not really a straight comedy. It's kind of weird in that sense. You got laugh out loud moments, but you also got kind of chill moments as far as from the human. But it keeps you interested. It keeps you engaged nonetheless. But anyway, so moving on to Solo, a Star Wars story. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars. I don't love Star Wars movies. My mother took me to see the first 3 Star Wars, you could say. The New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi when I was a kid. I loved them as a kid, especially Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But I haven't been a big fan of these movies as of late. I didn't like the prequels at all. From the late 90s and early 2000s. Didn't like them movies at all. They was boring. They was trash. These new batch of movies, they're good, but they're not great to me. Like, I'm not as high on The Force Awakens as other folks are. Not high on The Last Jedi as some people might be. I like the spin-off movies. I find them a little more entertaining, a little more engaging than the saga movies. If you ask me what's been the best movie out of the last 4 Star Wars movies, I might say Rogue One. And that's really due to Darth Vader going ham at the end of the movie, and I think the space battle with the spaceships is one of the best I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie. So that kind of put that movie over the top, that film over the top to me, opposed to the rest of the other 3 movies that came out. So I wasn't expecting this Solo movie to be that good, and it surpassed my expectations. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's very entertaining. It was a fun adventure. It was sort of like Indiana Jones meets Star Wars, which is ironic because Harrison Ford, who originally played Han Solo, plays as Indiana Jones as well. So that's funny that I got that from watching the movie. But anyway, basically this is an origin story for Han Solo. How he meets Chewbacca, his first encounter with Lando Calrissian, who's played by Donald Glover. Him first coming upon the Millennium Falcon, all that. There was a lot of problems making this movie. They changed directors pretty much at the tail end of filming the whole movie. The first directors, I think, were Lord and Miller. I think I got their name right. And then they didn't like what they did to the script. They said they was making it an all-out comedy, so they changed directors to Ron Howard, Opie, and so it's had its problems. But nevertheless, I like the chemistry. I really like the chemistry between Han Solo and Chewbacca. Love the chemistry. They made the movie that much entertaining to me. And I also like the new characters they introduced in this movie, which was a good thing and a bad thing, because these characters came and went. Just when they got you to really be invested in these characters, they go away just that quick. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I just wish they had more scenes and been in the movie longer. I think it would have made the movie a little more better than what it was. And I think the problem with this movie is lack of character development in the story, and the story itself is not that great. And it also kind of has a generic villain. You know, he's kind of one note. You know, you kind of seen this before. They don't utilize him. It is a good actor who plays him, Paul Bettany. He's a good actor. They didn't really utilize him as well as I thought. But I really dig the humor. They got some nice jokes in there, some funny jokes, good action, especially this action scene that's like on a train, so to speak, and that was really, I like that. That was really good. But anyway, I give this movie a B. I was saying, is it a B plus? Is it a B? Is it a B plus? Is it a B? So I'm gonna land on a B. I'm gonna say it's a B. But it's still worth going to see. There are critics. It's kind of get mixed reviews. There's some people who enjoy it, some people who don't like it. It's mostly really those Star Wars geeks who really all into the mythology, and they read the books and they got the comics and all that, and they kind of nitpicking and tearing it apart. But forget all that. It's an entertaining movie. It's a fun joyride, so go see it. Now, moving on to the FX cable TV series, The Americans. It's 6 seasons. It's over with. It's done. The final episode to the whole series came on this week, the beginning of this week, and I really dig this. I really dig this series. I highly recommend it. Too many people might not be aware of this cable series, being that it's on FX. It didn't get canceled or anything like that. It wasn't intended for this to go 8, 10, 12 seasons. It's basically shot and filmed and kind of constructed as a long movie, broken into 6 seasons basically. And what the series is about is set during the 80s, during the height of the Cold War. And you have this Russian couple who pose as your typical American couple with 2 kids. They have a boy and a girl. So they're spies. The husband and wife are spies. They're sent over there to spy on the Americans and the American government. So that's what you have. And the acting is great on here. The husband and wife, the wife who's played by Keri Russell, and the husband who's played by Matthew Reef. I believe that's his last name. They do a great job acting in this. It's not an action-filled series. This is much more of a drama, suspense, thriller, very grounded. You don't have a lot of gunplay. You don't have a lot of drawn-out fight scenes. It gets violent at times. And when it gets violent, it can get graphic at times. Very graphic violence at times. but it's not overdone. And violence, and when you have murders, you have killings, of course, but they're quick. There's no drawn out gunfights or none of that. It's quick and it's brutal at times, and it's not, you're not getting it every episode. Sometimes you got basically quiet episodes. It's more about the character development in the story, and it's more basically about these two characters doing a lot of lying, betraying people. They build these false relationships with people in order to get information, and they build these relationships for long periods of time. Like they span episodes, sometimes seasons. So you're not getting a different mission every episode. It's not like a new mission every episode and they complete the mission and next week you got a new mission. No, it's not like that. Like I said, it's basically a long movie broken into 6 seasons. So, like I said, it's very grounded, and you have the wife who's she goes hard for Mother Russia. She's all about her country. And then you have the husband who's conflicted, and what they do wears on him much more than it does on her. So you have that aspect to it. You got them trying to keep up with these jobs that the government makes them do, and also have to balance regular life with the kids and in a regular job. They have to pose as if they have their own business, their own travel agency. I don't want to give away too much, but it's 6 seasons, so it's so much in there that I couldn't give away, but so much. So it's not glamorous. It's not no James Bond type thing. It's a gritty series. And like I said, it has slow moments at times, but in some episodes and some seasons are slower than others. But you have to stick with it, because it always rewards you. Just when you think, this might be getting a little too slow for me, I might have to tap out, it ramps up again. So I highly recommend it. I give it an A-. There you have it.